Assalamu alaikum friends, my name is Rana Fahim and you are watching the channel Education and Learning. The topic of today is experimental research designs. There are three main designs of experimental research. Before going to the designs, I will discuss experimental research. Experimental research is a scientific approach to research where one or more independent variables are manipulated and applied to one or more dependent variables to measure their effect on the latter. The effect of the independent variables on the dependent variables is usually observed and recorded over some time to aid researchers in drawing a reasonable conclusion regarding the relationship between these two variable types. Designs. There are three designs of experimental research: pre-experimental, true experimental, quasi-experimental, and each design has further types. First of all, I will discuss about pre-experimental research design. In pre-experimental research design, either a group or various dependent groups are observed for the effect of the application of an independent variable which is presumed to cause change. It is the simplest form of experimental research design and is treated with no control group. Although very practical, experimental research is lacking in several areas of the true experimental criteria. The pre-experimental research design is further divided into three types. One short case study research design. In this type of experimental study, only one dependent group or variable is considered. The study is carried out after some treatment which was presumed to cause change, making it a post-test study. One group pretest-posttest research design. This research design combines both post-test and pre-test study by carrying out a test on a single group before the treatment is administered and after the treatment is administered, with the former being administered at the beginning of treatment and later at the end. Static group comparison research design. In a static group comparison study, two or more groups are placed under observation where only one of the groups is subjected to some treatment while the other groups are held static. All the groups are post-tested and the observed differences between the groups are assumed to be a result of the treatment. Quasi-experimental research design. The word quasi means partial, half, or pseudo. Therefore, the quasi-experimental research bearing a resemblance to the true experimental research but not the same. In the quasi-experiments, the participants are not randomly assigned and such they are used in settings where randomization is difficult or impossible. This is very common in educational research where administrators are unwilling to allow the random selection of students for experimental samples. Some examples of quasi-experimental research design include the time series, no equivalent control group design, and the counterbalanced design. True experimental research design. The true experimental research design relies on statistical analysis to approve or disprove a hypothesis. It is the most accurate type of experimental design and may be carried out without a pretest with or without a pretest on at least two randomly assigned dependent subjects. The true experimental research design must contain a control group, a variable that can be manipulated by the researcher, and the distribution must be random. The classification of true experimental design include the post-test only control group design. In this design, subjects are randomly selected and assigned to the two groups, control and experimental, and only the experimental group is treated. After close observation, both groups are post-tested and a conclusion is drawn from the difference between these groups. The pretest post-test control group design. For this control group design, subjects are randomly assigned to the two groups. Both are presented, but only the experimental group is treated. After close observation, both groups are post-tested to measure the degree of change in each group. Solomon 4 group design. This is the combination of the pretest only and the pretest posttest control groups. In this case, the randomly selected subjects are placed into four groups. The first two of these groups are tested using the post-test only method, while the other two are tested using the pre-test post-test designs. So this was the video about experimental research designs. If you like my video, please subscribe the channel to view new videos. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. Thank you so much for watching my video.